I think my very first inspiration was watching my mom. As a little girl, I used to go into her drawers and rip up all her patterns. I don't know, I had a thing about paper. And she would have to recreate her patterns from newspaper because I would have ripped them up. It was a little terror, I guess. But it didn't bother her. She would just draft out a pattern on newspaper. And I was always amazed at her drawing skill to be able to do this. And to look at the newspaper and to see what would happen when she put the material on top of the newspaper, cut that out, and then create this beautiful, piece of work. And either I could wear it or she would sell it to someone. And it was just incredible. So when I was a teenager, I used to come home with these ideas in my head. I couldn't draw them, but I could explain the color, what I wanted, and she would just zip it up and I'd have it for a party. And so it was very inspirational to me because I'm like, boy, she can do this thing. And I was in awe of her, even though I couldn't do it. I could design it in my head and have her create it for me. And she used to always tell me, you could do this, you can do this. This is so easy. I'm not doing anything that you're not able to do yourself. So I think she has always been my inspiration, and what she's been able to make has always been inspiring, because she would take something from a thrift shop and just recreate it, or she would start from scratch. So, and I used to model for her when I was a little girl, so I was like her child model. Watching her being so focused and just watching every mark she would make, I would sit there after ripping up her patterns and watch her recreate them, and I would get inspired. I would want to do some kind of mark making or do something in that arena, but I wouldn't do it because I knew I couldn't do it as well as she could. But I was inspired to keep coming back and talking to her about it, I saw this design, or I had this thing in my head, can you create it? And she would show me how to do it, but I wouldn't follow through with it. I would just watch her do it. So my inspiration is watching her and then coming back and giving her ideas to do other things. I'm very much involved in movement. Like some of my earlier pieces, I like to watch people dance, and so, and one of my cousins used to dance for Merce Cunningham, and so I used to go to all their performances, and so movement has been a big thing in my work at one point, watching people dance and the movement. Music inspires me. Lately, because I've been hanging out in the Pacific Grove area, landscapes have been inspiring me, just nature in itself, and the colors that God has created, and how they're related has been an inspiration for me. So just looking at nature and stuff. I mean, at any particular given time, things around me inspire me just by looking at the color and how it all comes together, and the light seems to inspire me a lot too. I look for that.